political parties and independent candidates against distributing handouts ahead of March 17, 2026 by-elections. Thank you for joining us, and now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has renamed the Paul Kagame Road in Lilongwe to John Chilembwe Road. A statement from the Office of the Chief Secretary to Government says the conferment of honours is with effect from 12 January and will be published in the Government Gazette for all purposes and all written laws. The statement has directed the Ministry of Transport and Road Infrastructure to effect new road signs bearing the name of John Chilembwe Road. Government will directly allocate the 50 megawatts electricity being imported from Mozambique to the mining sector. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Mining, Engineer Emmanuel Matapa, made the announcement in an interview with Embassy. He explained that the imported power will help mining companies reduce their reliance on diesel generators.
Environmental degradation, driven partly by wanton cutting down of trees and other human activities, has resulted into low soil fertility and low agricultural productivity. At a tree planting exercise at Kapiri in Nchinji district, Tuntu Fiendovi, Chief Forestry Officer in the Ministry of Natural Resources, said farmers who suffer the consequences of environmental degradation should lead in restoration and conservation efforts, while chiefs should also introduce bylaws to instill discipline.
As much as the farmers, they are taking the strides in also contributing towards the restoration efforts so that we have an increased yield. We can say that probably we are still having quite a milestone that we're supposed to catch, and I would urge the farmers across Malawi that let us be part and parcel of the restoration efforts, most especially even where we have our own farms. Let's take an initiative of managing the natural regenerations that are existing in our own farms.
For her part, NASFAM Chief Executive Officer Bete Chinyamunyamu says beside encouraging farmers to plant more trees, NASFAM is also supporting and promoting the use of energy-saving stoves. She further said NASFAM is impressed with conservation activities being championed by farm clubs and associations across Malawi, saying natural calamities that hit Malawi year in, year out are serving as a lesson.
As NASFAM, we believe that with climate change, it is very important that everybody takes a part in planting trees and conserving the environment, because it is not a responsibility that we can leave to government alone or to just other organizations. Everybody needs to take a part. So there are some trees that they need for firewood. There are some trees that they need for manure. For example, Glessidia is a tree that we're promoting because it is one that they can use to improve the fertility of their soils.
Beside loss of soil fertility, environmental plunder has seen Malawi become vulnerable to shocks such as floods and extremely hot conditions, causing economic strain in disaster recovery and undermining livelihoods over time. Experts warn that failure to take action will lead to further devastation. Isaac Jali, MBC, Mchinji.
And that report was centering on young people in the country who are calling on non-state and state institutions to commit more resources towards provision of sexual reproductive health services. The call was made in Zuzu during a stakeholders meeting, which was organized by Ujembere Wabwino Clinic in Zuzu. Blessings Kondwe was the one reading the report. And now back to our story. Government to directly allocate the 50 megawatts electricity being imported from Mozambique to the mining sector. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Mining, Engineer Emmanuel Matapa, made the announcement in an interview with Embassy. He explained that the imported power will help mining companies reduce their reliance on diesel generators.
To increase power, we are not only looking at a local solution in terms of generation. we are also looking at the possibility of importing power from our neighboring countries. So we have the MOMA, Malawi-Mozambique Interconnector, which is in its final stages. We think by next month we should be able, next month of February, we should be able to tap power about 50 megawatts from MOMA Interconnector. The thinking for MOMA Interconnector is that we have the power and we have the industries in Malawi and the mining. One of the objectives of this ministry, because it's called Minister of Energy and Mining, is to develop the mining sector. So for us to assist in developing the mining sector, we need to power them with enough electricity. As stable electricity and affordable electricity. So that's why we are looking at taking power from MOMA, Southern African SAP, what we call SAP. People have argued in terms of the costing, but we think it's better that we have electricity available and other than not to have electricity available.
50 megawatts, do you have a picture of how much as a country will be spending?
Okay, estimates, because it's not the accurate figure, estimates, I think they are putting it at $5 million as the expenditure, which will be expected. But we think we should be able to meet that. We are looking at directly selling part of it to the miners and the manufacturing industries.
Young people in the country are calling on government and organizations to commit more resources towards provision of sexual reproductive health services. We have a report.
The meeting brought together young people, health workers, teachers, and other stakeholders in Mzimba North. Speaking during the meeting, founder of Uchembere Wabwino Clinic, Luce Msukwa, said government and non-governmental organizations are key in the provision of sexual reproductive health services to the young people. She says if more resources are channeled towards provision of youth-friendly health services, teenage and unplanned pregnancies can be reduced.
There is that gap that there is a lack of resources for adolescents to access the information as well as the services. So that's why we have mapped up this engagement so that we should come up with the strategies that as NGOs, as a government, as CSOs, we can work together so that we should be able to provide the necessary information to the adolescents as well as to provide good quality services to the adolescents so that we should reduce stigma as well as we should be able to reduce the number of teen pregnancies, including the STIs.
Gender officer from Mzimba North, Peter Nyondo, said collaborative efforts are crucial in addressing gaps in the provision of sexual reproductive health services.
SRHR is one of the issues that is affecting a lot of communities and people affected by the same. But it is sad to note that, for example, male involvement is an issue. So you see the population that is mostly taking part are women. But for SRHR to be a success, it needs male engagement. So as an office, gender office, we are looking into improving and also encouraging men to take part in SRHR.
Uchembere Wabwino Clinic is key stakeholder that supports young people to access youth-friendly services. Blessings Gondwe, MBC News, Muzuzu.
Malawi and the United States government have signed a 5-year health cooperation memorandum of understanding (MOU) that outlines a comprehensive co-investment to save lives, strengthen Malawi's infectious disease prevention and response capabilities. Under the arrangement, the US government intends to provide up to $792 million. Malawi will increase its overall annual health spending by $143 million United States dollars during the period of the MOU. The 5-year MOU is designed to facilitate full Malawian ownership of health services through domestic funding of its health workforce and essential commodities. By signing this MOU, Malawi is working with the United States over the next 5 years to strengthen its financial leadership and self-sustain its health sector. Historically, US-Malawi health cooperation has had enormous positive results. Malawi has made significant progress in addressing the HIV and AIDS epidemic. In particular, Malawi is one of the handful of countries that have reached the 95-95-95 goals for epidemic control of HIV and AIDS. The US-Malawi partnership under the new 5-year MOU builds on existing progress, moves away from parallel NGO delivery systems, and invests in cutting-edge health solutions, fostering greater Malawian national ownership over its health service delivery system. You're watching MBC and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. Reminder of the top stories. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika renames Pokagami Road in Lilongwe to John Chilembwe Road. Government to directly allocate the 50 megawatts electricity being imported from Mozambique to the mining sector. And the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC warns political parties and independent candidates against distributing handouts ahead of March 17, 2026 by-elections. Welcome back. The Ministry of Homeland Security has announced that the National Registration Bureau (NRB) will soon launch a national birth registration campaign across 25 districts in the country. Minister of Homeland Security Peter Mukito made the announcement during a press conference in Lilongwe. Olive Perry reports.
To address various challenges that children without legal identity documents are facing in the country, the Ministry of Homeland Security says it will soon embark on national birth registration campaign. According to Minister of Homeland Security Peter Mukito, children under the age of 16 in Malawi are estimated to be around 4.6 million, and these are unregistered and do not have any legal identity documents. Mukito says due to the absence of their identity documents, the children are facing challenges in accessing essential services, risk of exploitation, child labor, and are excluded from social and economic activities. Mukito adds that the campaign will help the country to have accurate data for development planning, budgeting, and policy formulation, among others. The minister says the campaign needs about 17.8 billion kwacha, and government has already provided some amount for the first 2 phases.
Birth registration also helps government to plan better. It strengthens our national identity system and it reduces fraud and age manipulation. It also moves Malawi closer to meeting the global commitment under Sustainable Development Goal 16.9.
According to the Ministry of Homeland Security, the national birth registration campaign will be done in 7 phases, and the phases are expected to be completed in December 2026. The ministry has since called upon various stakeholders to support the campaign. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Malawi Electoral Commission MEC has warned political parties and independent candidates against distributing handouts ahead of 17 March 2026 by-elections in 5 constituencies and 9 wards. MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Ntalimanja said this during the launch of the by-elections at Monegera Ward at Goliati in Cholo District. Simeon Shumba has more.
The Malawi Electoral Commission is conducting the by-elections for various reasons, among them postponement of electoral process, court orders, deaths, and nullification of results. Some of the areas where by-elections are taking place are Blantyre West, Rumpi Central, Monegera Ward in Cholo Goliati, and Luwinga in Zuzu City South, respectively. Speaking during the launch, MEC Chairperson said all is set for the Commission to conduct the by-elections, and hence appealed to political parties and independent candidates to refrain from giving out handouts during the campaign period.
our assurance in terms of the Commission is that we are fully committed to hold free, fair and credible elections. Our expectation is that the political parties and the candidates that they are sponsoring, as well as the independent candidates, are going to hold issue-based campaign. They are going to refrain from inflammatory speeches. They are not going to conduct themselves in a manner that is going to stir violence, or that are going to intimidate each other. We are looking forward to a peaceful campaign.
For his part, District Commissioner for Cholo, No Dakamau, challenged the candidates not to overpromise the electorates.
That when they are championing their campaign, they should know what they can do and what they can do. So because of that, they should know what is the mandate of the council, what is the responsibility of the council. If they overpromise, that will be difficult for them to implement. Because councils are there to represent the people. Currently, I say that the president, Professor Zabuka, launched the 5 billion fund in such a way that should be where they are going to take their issues. More than that, it is not possible. So why should they promise a thing which they cannot implement? And we open our office, the office of District Commission in Cholo, is open for all those people who are going to campaign for cancer.
According to MEC, the official campaign has already started on 15th January and will end on 15th March 2026, while registration is expected to commence on 13th January and end on 6th February 2026. The determination of results will be made on 20th March 2026. Meanwhile, MEC has postponed parliamentary by-elections in the Lilongwe City by constituency due to illegal action to nullifying area electoral processes in the constituency. Simon Shumba, MBC News, Goliath, Cholo.
Second Vice President Enoch Johana has encouraged people in the country to plant trees during the national tree planting season for the country to address climate change challenges such as flash floods. Johana made those remarks in Palombe during the official launch of the 2025-2026 National Forestry Season. More in this report by Simeon Boyce.
Speaking during the event, the second vice president warned people on the dangers of carelessly cutting down trees and emphasized the need for every citizen to take responsibility in protecting and conserving the environment. Chihana therefore challenged Malawians to plant more trees during the season.
I've been delegated by His Excellency Professor Thapita Muntalika to preside over the launch of the National Tree Planting Day today. And it's going to continue the whole country. You know that we have a symbiotic relationship between us and nature. It's very important that we need to have trees that will protect us and will protect the nature. You know that in agriculture, if you don't have very good forest, we always have problems with the nature. You see the cyclones which have come to Malawi, especially here in Palombe. You have seen what has happened for the past 10-15 years. It's because of cutting down of trees.
Taking his turn, Minister of Natural Resources Alfred Gangata said his ministry is promoting planting of trees in areas that have been affected by deforestation, including Mpata in Palombe. Member of Parliament for Palombe South, Tuone Henry, commended government for launching the exercise in her area.
This launch is so critical to my area because the issues of deforestation, they're so rampant in this area. And if you have seen up there in the hills, if you see that green, it's not grass, that is maize that people have planted up at the hills.
With the theme Trees and Forests for Community Resilience, over 40 million trees are expected to be planted during the 2025-2026 forestry season. Simon Boyce, MBC News, Palombe.
Inspector General of Malawi Police Service, Richard Luhanga, has called on stakeholders in the country to support the Malawi Police Service in its service delivery. Luhanga noted that the police strive for better service delivery where more resources are needed, hence the need for collaboration and support from business communities and well-wishers. He said this at the police headquarters in Lilongwe when he received sirens from Restart Trading. We have a report.
The Inspector General of Police, Richard Luhanga, says effectiveness and efficiency of the Malawi Police Service is essential in its service delivery. He says this can be achieved through adequate resources, highlighting the importance of the police sirens they have received in their line of work. He says this addresses a gap that is there as a lot of police cars have no sirens. The Inspector General adds that the sirens will have an impact in their responsiveness to public needs. He has therefore called for more support and collaboration from the business community and well-wishers.
Partnerships with the business community are very important for the Malawi Police Service, as they are another way of getting resources apart from getting from the Malawi government and other donors. It is that spirit of responsibility that I would want to call upon all business communities and well-wishers to say we are available to engage with them, to see where they can support us, and we welcome their support. We are willing to have a discussion, to go into a mutual agreement, as long as we are able to get the support that we may require to serve the people of Malawi better.
Restart Trading Managing Director Adriano Kalembo acknowledges that the Malawi Police Service cannot manage everything on its own, hence the need for collaborative efforts to meet the growing demand.
It's very important to work with the Malawi services as our stakeholders, because any stakeholder, if they have an incident or they have an issue, the first place to report is the police. So it's very helpful, not just we come here at the head office or any other police service just to ask for their services, but whereby we don't provide other also services that we can render to them. Because the police service, they cannot be able to give out their needs to each and the public stakeholders, but it's very important that we are able just on our own to come here and provide support where there is a need.
At a cost of about 35 million kwacha, the visual and audible signaling systems are among the most important vehicle components law enforcers use to ensure safety on public roads, among other aspects. Trinity Kapantengo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
And now in sports, the FDH Bank Cup will not continue from this year, as FDH Bank has assumed sponsorship of the Super League. The bank has been sponsoring the tournament since 2021, with Silver Strikers the first and the last team to win it. Speaking to Embassy, the bank's managing director Noel Nkoliji said their focus will now be on the Super League. Nkoliji has however clarified that their sponsorship to the national football and netball teams remain intact.
Yeah, obviously that one we need to shelve it, because we need to put more energy on the current FDH Bank Premiership, and on that basis we have even requested that we have even informed the Solom and Farm that we are doing away with the FDH Cup.
How about the sponsorship to the Queens as well as the Friends?
That one still remains. We are not touching on that, because we believe we need to develop football, and we need to develop netball as well as sports in Malawi.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika renames Pokagami Road in Lilongwe to John Chilembwe Road. Government to directly allocate the 50 megawatts electricity being imported from Mozambique to the mining sector. And the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC warns political parties and independent candidates against distributing handouts ahead of March 17, 2026 by-elections. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the weather forecast. Today we expect to see more clouds and heavy rain over more areas, and this heavy rain is likely to trigger some flash flooding. These conditions will be due to the convergence of northwesterly mass into Malawi and also with winds from the northeast. Therefore, this morning we expect partly cloudy to cloudy weather conditions with cool temperatures over the central areas, northern highlands, and also over the southern highlands. In the Chile Valley, we expect to see minimum of 24 degrees Celsius, with partly cloudy to cloudy weather conditions and chance of rain showers over most areas in the central lakeshore, the north, and also in the south. Later in the afternoon, we should expect generally warm conditions around the central areas where Lilongwe may register 26 degrees Celsius. So too Nzuzu. It will be hot in the Chile Valley up to 33 degrees Celsius. We expect to see more clouds to be developing in the afternoon and also heavy rain over more areas. Places like Blantyre, Mlanje and Palombe may see rainfall, as well as places like Ncheu, Dedza, Lilongwe, Nchinji, and also Nzimba and Chitipa. It will also be raining along the lakeshore areas like over Mangochi and in Kota Kota. That's a forecast. Have a lovely day.